What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me on these analysis. We're going to be looking at MSTR and Bitcoin today. So MSTR kind of had a flat day again, slightly bearish. We closed back outside of the golden zone, the key zone that we've been speaking of. It's been a pain in the butt lately. Haven't been able to break through it. Just been getting rejected off of this thing time and time again. Hopefully we can get our closes within here and a nice rally to the upside. It does seem like MSTR is, back in correlation with Bitcoin. So things are looking pretty good overall. Just remember these times when we do start moving up higher, and when you're second guessing about taking profits, remember how these drawdowns and periods of just sideways, no volume, where nothing's happening, and these downturns, remember how they feel. So it should allow you to not be as greedy when we start pushing up to higher prices. Just keep that in the back of your mind, of course. But I think we're still in a good position overall. On the weekly, we're still looking decent. I'm still in the same case where I was saying a very bullish sign would be closing above 391 or higher, somewhere in this zone. And the ultimate bullish case would be closing at 430 or about 426. Those are the two really, really bullish scenarios. How likely is that to happen? I'm not too sure, especially the way MSTR has been moving. It hasn't been as aggressive as we're used to seeing. So the volatility is kind of just dried up right now temporarily. But typically this wouldn't be an issue because you could knock this down in one day when MSTR has its volume, but the volume's been dried up lately. So I don't think it's too likely to happen, but it still could. But I do still see that we could close above this wick or this wick here, which would be like a 2-3% move, something like that, something small. I just think that would be a bullish scenario because we need to get inside of this zone and start working our way up. We've just really been trending sideways for the past couple weeks. Actually, it's actually been longer because from April 28th, we really haven't moved anywhere. So kind of just sideways for the past 3 months. On the monthly, we still have 18 days. So the other scenario that's bullish here would be closing above here. The more bullish case on the monthly would be closing above 450 like we spoke about prior. I'm not going to call specific prices with this thing because it deviates a lot of the time. But you can see that we should be going up higher from here. So how much is the question, but who knows? Nobody really knows, but you can see it. We're somewhere in between the move. We're not all the way at the top yet. And the dollar's still slowly but surely falling down, and that's going to continue to boost global liquidity, which is perfect. And Tether Dominance is looking bearish, which is awesome. So things are looking good right now. On the weekly, we are still holding above our blue Bollinger Band. We're still underneath our red, though, trying to make our way back up to it. And here on the daily, you can see that we got to close above it, and we rejected the first time, or we got to bounce it the first time, and now we're retesting it again. This one was a little bit of a deeper retracement. Let's see if we can actually push up higher and get that daily close above these wicks here. And on the 4-hour, we already got our bounce, and we're trying to make our way to the red. And we want to see something along these lines here, like we've spoken about before, where in the bull trend, you're hugging the red and your pullbacks are just to the blue band, and then you continue riding up. So that's in the middle of the aggressive move to the upside, and you can see the same thing happening here. So this was what we were anticipating, and then we kind of fell deeper down. So let's see if we can start to continue that rally back to the upside. And on the weekly EMA, we're still holding very well, holding as a beautiful support right here. We fell underneath it temporarily, and we're already reclaiming it, getting a bounce off of it. So I think we're going to be in a good position overall. And on the monthly, we're still well above it, so I don't think there's much to worry about. And here on the daily EMA, it's the 8 EMA, by the way, we're getting a retest off of it. It's practically in the same position as that blue Bollinger Band. So we have a good amount of support underneath price, but we do have this pain in the butt resistance right here, this golden zone. So once we break that, I think things can start to kick up. And you can see the volume's just absolutely been, trending downward for the most part. It's just absent completely, but that's okay. We haven't had a very aggressive breakout with Bitcoin, so it's kind of expected. Once we get a very aggressive breakout with Bitcoin, the premium should start to increase. MSTR is already, outperforming Bitcoin little by little, day after day, and that's what we need. We just need to slowly inch in front of Bitcoin, and then once the aggressive move happens, it will allow the premium to increase. And of course, here on the RSI, we're still pulling back to the yellow moving average. Let's see if we can finally get a bounce off of it, or we can just continue rallying from here. And we're gonna look at smaller time zones here, and we have an upward trend on the 4-hour, which is looking very good. You can see that well established, and you have the yellow moving average coming up underneath the RSI. And on the 1-hour, we've fallen underneath it, but we still have higher highs and higher lows, as you can see here. And we're pushing our way back to the yellow moving average. Let's see if we can break above that, retest it, and push up higher to overbought territories on the 1-hour RSI. Also, if you guys enjoy content like this, make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend. Majority of the people that watch this channel are not subscribed. It's roughly like 60 or 70% of you guys. So I would definitely appreciate it if you guys would like and subscribe on the video. It helps with the algorithm and pushing out this content to more people. And I appreciate all the support. Back to the video. So on the daily, we're still above this dotted line. We're still in bullish territory, and we have our volume dwindling down, which is perfect, to the bearish side, and eventually going to get the flip. And here on the 4-hour, we already got our flip, and we're pushing back into bullish territory, creating higher highs, higher lows. So this thing is looking ready to break out. Of course, that doesn't mean it's going to, but it's looking very good. Now, here on the 1-hour, you could say that this is a bull flag being formed, or you could say it's a double top being formed. I can see both playing out. You could definitely make this the case where it's actually a double top, but it could also be a bull flag to break out above this 4.8 level and rally up higher. So hopefully we can get a nice move like we've seen up here, and we hold these high levels for an extended period. Right now, it looks like we're headed down towards the dotted line, the neutral area, but we're still remaining in bullish territory at the moment. And hopefully we can get the green flip as this red momentum dwindles down. On this most recent leg here, as you can see, when you pull that fib, we had our pullback to the 382, and we got a bounce, and we're currently above the 236, so it's looking very bullish, and it looks very similar to this move over here. This seems to be a deeper retracement at the moment, but that does not have to be the case. It can always pull back further to the 0.5618. This move made it to the 0.5618 and the upward sloping trend line, and then rallied. This one right now is currently pulled back to the 382, and now it's trying to make its way up. So hopefully that is the case, and we found our support here and our bottom for this leg up and this temporary correction. Hopefully that is the bottom, and we can continue moving up higher. Here on Bitcoin, so we had a very good close yesterday, and now we're getting some momentum to the downside. Hopefully we end up wicking back up. We have 2 hours and 18 minutes left. If we can wick back up again, that's going to be extremely bullish. If we can create the same candle or better, or even if it's a little bit more bearish, that's okay. Even if we can close just above 110, that would be extremely bullish. But we definitely don't want to lose that level here on the daily. If we lose it here on the daily, you can see, looking to the left, we have a clean move to the downside to roughly this area about here at around 105 to 104.9. So keep that in mind. If we do fall underneath here, it increases the likelihood of us falling there. It does not have to happen, but just want you guys to be open to that idea. And here on the 4-hour, looking a little bearish as we got to close within the wicks here, and we're already pushing down. But we are getting a little bit of a bounce. Let's see if we can actually fill this thing back up and turn this into a green candle and kind of just erase this entire move here. All right, so I saw this indicator here. Somebody, I don't even remember who I watched on YouTube. It was some random person that I saw. First time ever watching their video, so I don't remember their name. Shout out to that person. They were talking about this hash ribbon. Here on the blue circles, you can see every time it's indicated a buy, we've had a pretty significant run up. You can see they're massive moves. Not every single move, but you can see that they were good time to buy. As you can see it's a great time to buy on almost every single one of these blue lines. You can just see it time and time again. Another great time to buy on this blue one. Even though you had the COVID crash, you still pushed up 55%, then got the crash, and then continued to rally from that point. Then you got it again here at this level, obviously a huge move up, and you got it again here. You got a move at the beginning or mid of the 2020, 2021 rally up, and then for the double peak, you got it right before the peak again. And even then on that peak, if you were to take it to the bottom, to the top, it was still an 88% move. I mean, this thing has really been on point, honestly. And if you look here again, almost called the bottom for the 2022 drop. Another bottom here, or pullback, I would say. And another great opportunity to buy. I mean, it's just time and time again. This thing has been spot on with where to buy at. So we just got it right now. Right here. Oh, let me move that over. Right there. We got our signal for it to buy on the hash ribbons. If it's been on point almost every single time, and honestly, the smallest move we saw was a 55% move. That's pretty crazy. So we'll just measure out 55%. And that takes you to about 160K if we were to get 55% at the minimum, at the bare minimum. But you guys let me know what you think. It's pretty interesting though, seeing how this thing's been pretty accurate. I mean, very, very spot on. So let me know in the comment section if you guys have seen this before, if you think this is reliable or not. I've never really looked at it like that. Let's check it out on MSTR too. Let's see. Yeah, I had some pretty decent opportunities for buying. I believe they started buying Bitcoin in 2020, so all of this would be relevant. This one wasn't the best. These were pretty good indicators right here. Had pretty significant moves. Here you called before actually the double top. You didn't really gain too much on that one, and all the other ones have been pretty decent. They come a little bit late, but that kind of makes sense because MSTR tends to front run. But they still have been pretty decent though. And we haven't had it flash yet, but we had it flash over here. So maybe that was just our indicator for this next leg up. And then halfway through this leg, maybe then we'll get another blue flash. But you guys let me know in the comment section what you think about that. Here on Bitcoin Dominance, I'm getting a little bit of red, but I mean, it's nothing really to get too excited about. Bare minimum. We had this upward sloping trend line. We closed underneath it, which is a good sign. And hopefully we can start to push down and let altcoins start to breathe a little bit. They've been suffocated. Bitcoin's just been absolutely annihilating all altcoins as a whole. So we want this to drop down. This could be one of our indicators that we use for the top as FOMO kicks in and retail kicks in. I mean, of course, we're retail, but the new retail, I would say. The retail that's not really exposed to the market that often. Once you reach this 45% line, that would be the indicator that we have topped, along with a bunch of other things. But we don't really go over them that much on the channel because it's really not relevant right now. So we're starting to see a little bit of red. We want to break underneath the 61.8, but we're pretty far from that point. But it is a good start, hopefully to the downside, to let altcoins start to create some excitement in the market. And here's another one that is showing a little bit of hope for altcoins. Here, ETH Bitcoin's trying to break this previous high here at 0.16. It's slowly pushing up. It's trying to get there. You can see we have that level around there. Let's see if we break it. But we also still have this downward sloping trend line. Once we break that, hopefully we get a retest. Hopefully we get a retest of this trend line and push up higher. And then that's going to show that Ether is outperforming Bitcoin, which is going to show that altcoins are ready to begin alt season, but that probably won't happen until the Fed starts to increase its balance sheet, or at least stop reducing its balance sheet. So you guys have to keep that in mind as well. And moving on to the dollar, this is looking very nice, guys. This is playing out exactly as we spoke about. We're getting our push downward, and we're slowly just bleeding out little by little. Our next level to look out for a bounce would be here at 98 roughly, and probably bounce back up to this trend line and then break through, I would imagine, and kind of the same. I would imagine it doing the same thing all the way down until we actually get that aggressive move. So I see us chopping and doing the same thing, continuously hitting this until we get our serious move down, and that's probably when we'll get a pretty dramatic move in Bitcoin. Once we get a vertical drop, that's when we're gonna get a pretty aggressive move on Bitcoin, I would imagine. Well, that's pretty much all I have for you guys here. Like and subscribe, share with a friend. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next one.